So you bought the Sony ZV-E10 or any other Sony crop sensor camera like the Sony a6700, a600, a6500, looking for an amazing lens to pair with the Sony ZV-E10. This is the best crop sensor lens that money can buy, and this is a Tamron 17mm-70mm f2.8 lens. This lens is incredible for its ability to be a Swiss Army knife where it cuts both through photography and videography seamlessly. My name is ABEiiiKU. Welcome to the channel. If I've not already subscribed, please do, and let's roll into it. The Tamron 17mm-70mm lens is incredible because one of its build and design. So on the build, you have the lens hood over here, which you can have. You also have the lens cap and all that. This thing is built like a tank. It is built incredibly well. It is a bit heavy and it's built with plastic and metal. So when you hold this lens, you can feel that this lens has a bit of weight, and it weighs 525 grams and has a length of 4.7 inches. This lens over here is a zoom lens with a constant aperture of f2.8. That is very sharp. You are going to get sharp, detailed images out of this lens. And one of the things that you can find with this lens is that because it is a zoom lens, it extends, the barrel extends this way. So unlike most lenses or some lenses that you have that it extends within the body, this lens extends outward. So when you are recording and when you want to zoom out, you zoom out this way and then it extends outside. So when you are packing your things into your bag and all that for travel and all that, it becomes very small and lightweight. But the moment you start to extend, you see that it becomes taller, and that is great for traveling purposes and video recording. This lens is also great because that it has a 67mm filter thread, and so the filter thread on it is that you can buy a filter, an ND filter that you can use over here, and that ND filter is going to be helpful, especially in situations where you have high amount of light, especially when you are outdoors recording and all that. This lens is just amazing because it does videography well and does photography incredibly well. So it means that this lens will give you both sides of the situation, where it is not just a photography lens but also a great videography lens. Let's talk about the focal range on this lens. The focal range on this lens is at 17 to 70 millimeters. It's a 17 to 70 millimeters on this lens. That means that you can zoom in at 17 millimeters wide shot and also have a tight or close-up shot at 70 millimeters. But that is for a crop sensor image comparison that we are doing. Now let's compare it to a full frame sensor. Now on a full frame sensor, this thing is going to give you a 25 to a 105 image quality. So that is the focal range that you're going to get out of this. And at f2.8, when you are buying a 24, let's say 25 to 105 lens of this nature, that is quite an expensive one. But with this, because it's a crop sensor lens, you are getting an amazing image out of this for a valued price point. With a constant aperture of f2.8, so it means that when you zoom into this lens at f2.8, every zoom range that you zoom, you are getting an f2.8. So whether you are shooting at 24 millimeters or 70 millimeters, 35 millimeters, 50 millimeters, or 70 millimeters, this lens is giving you an f2.8 constant aperture, and that is great for low light situations where it means that when you are recording and you don't have enough light available, because at f2.8, when you open the aperture to open the lens hugely and let in a lot of light, that is going to become incredibly well for sharp, detailed and accurate colors. This lens is also great because the moment you hold it and you shake it, you can feel some kind of click sounds with it, and that is because it has an image stabilization built in it. Because that the Sony ZV-E10 does not come with any in-body stabilization, you need a lens like this Tamron 17 to 70 millimeters to pair with this. This has a vibration compensation, and by VC it means that you have 4.5 stops image stabilization with this, and that will give you an amazing kind of videography and photography out of this, especially when you are recording or shooting in handheld situation or handheld mode. So when you put this lens on this Sony ZV-E10, this is how it becomes. It's a little bit longer, and when you extend it more, you see that it becomes a lot more featherweight, and then you have a huge and long kind of barrel in front of your camera, and that is very great when you are recording videos and situations or when you are shooting pictures, and then you need to hold the lens this way because this is what you are recording in handheld mode, and so you would need this to be able to do that properly. And the autofocus on the Tamron 17mm-70mm, it's one of the best that I've used so far. It's very quiet, extremely quiet. I have never for once heard this lens make any noise. This is just incredible. It is very fast at autofocusing, tracking images, tracking subjects, people's faces and eyes and all those things. This thing does well. And paired with the Sony ZV-E10, which also has incredible autofocus capability, this is giving you the best perfect combination that you are going to get for your videography and photography business. It also has weather sealing. So when you are outdoor recording and shooting images and pictures and videos, and whether it is drizzling or you have light showers of rain, this lens is going to give you an amazing resistance to those kind of situations. So when you are in the snow recording and you have this lens, you will not feel the need to be panicky. It has coatings around it which helps it in those kind of dye situations environment. It has broadband anti-reflection which helps resist lens flares and ghosting, and which is very great for video record. Not for once recorded any lens flare situation in this within this studio that we find ourselves. Quite great because it has special element on it which helps in dispersion and spherical element that helps in the design, prevent chromatic aberrations and distortions, and ensures sharpness and clarity throughout the focal range. You're going to get any kind of distortions and chromatic aberrations with this lens. Even if you are getting, it's going to become really minimal. And at this price point, I don't think you can go wrong with this lens. You should get this lens because that it offers great value for money. The amount of money that you are investing into this lens can take you for a number of years because of the image quality that you're going to get out of this lens, and the amount of zoom range that you are going to get this at a constant aperture of f2.8. That is for me something that you can never go wrong with this lens. It has image stabilization built in it. It has great image quality. It has impeccable video capability, and the fact that it has weather sealing and other things makes this lens just great. At the full frame lens, which will be 25 to 105, you are going to pay huge amounts of money to get this lens. So when you have the Sony ZV-E10, for me, if you want to go into video content like what I have over here, where you are taking short videos like this, where you can have 24mm as a long range, you can have 70mm. So shooting, for example, let's say clients images, this lens will give you great portrait image out of this lens, because at f2.8 constant aperture, you can shoot incredible portrait range at several zoom range, and that will be great for clients work and all that. I think that the Tamron 17mm-70mm is the best lens that you can buy for your Sony ZV-E10, and it's a little bit heavy, but then you are getting so much out of this because it's not just a photography focused lens nor a videography mainly lens. It cuts both through the situations of both angles incredibly well and offers the best value for money. This is my review of the Tamron 17mm-70mm f2.8 in 2024, and I think this is the best APS-C lens that you can buy in 2024. My name is ABEiiKU. Keep on supporting the channel and subscribe for more videos. Turn on your post notifications so that when a new video comes, you'll not be left out. See you in the next video. Peace out.